Now, potentially some exciting news to breathe new life into the derelict building in Swindon. The council have agreed the sale of the old museum and art gallery site in Old Town. Now, the museum closed 3 years ago at the start of the pandemic, and now it could become a restaurant and cafe. Chris Telekowski is looking after communications for the developer, so I headed along to the site to find out more, because I'm nosy like that. Busy hustle and bustle of a morning in Old Town. I can see the daffodils are all showing here now, which is starting to maybe look a bit like spring, although it still doesn't quite feel like spring. Chris Telekowski, we are here outside a building which will, like, a tick list of other buildings in Swindon, gets in the news every couple of weeks or so. But just give us the sort of recent 30-second summary on it.
So, Apsley House was a former museum and art gallery for Swindon Borough Council. It got closed during COVID, and then the repairs to fix it and make it disability compliant, etc., were so high that they then allowed the public to try and buy it, or community groups. So South Swindon Parish tried to buy it, but again the costs were too high. So then they decided last summer to sell it and put it out to open market, and a number of bidders submitted offers, and in January they went in, and then very recently they have chosen Arthur Dallama's plan to restore it and change the extension to a glass facade and turn it to mixed commercial use.
Right, so you're not Arthur, this is the thing, so why are we talking to you?
So the Old Town Business Association was approached by Arthur at the end of last year. He said, I've got a really bold plan for the museum. I want to keep it commercial, not turn it into flats, which was our big fear. So many beautiful buildings keep getting turned into flats all over Swindon. And we really bought into the idea and thought it was fantastic to not only restore the 1830s building we're looking at right now, but modernise the extension and create a 90-seater restaurant, cafe, co-workspace and 5 retail units, which is incredibly exciting. So one of Swindon's landmark buildings that's been in and out of the press, as you say, for years, because people want to make sure something good happens with it, will finally get a new lease of life, hopefully in the next 18 months.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the sort of the main front part there. There he goes. It's almost like a mini stately home entrance. It's beautiful, isn't it? The bit to the right, maybe not quite so nice, quite sort of glassy and run down. This area is kind of like the entrance to Old Town from certain areas. So this needs to look better, doesn't it?
It does, and it's a landmark building. As you say, it's the entrance from Bath Road into Old Town. It's been here since 1830s, this main building, and this 1960s extension was added on to add the gallery. And yes, it is a bit brutalist and a bit glassy, but if you go on Arthur's website, apsleycorner.com, you can see what he's planning to do with it, which is frankly quite spectacular.
Just give us a little idea then from what we're looking at.
It will replace the concrete and black struts with a glass-fronted facade with some nice wooden structures and cladding around the side. It looks spectacular, which will create an inside and outside 90-seater restaurant, which is probably going to be one of Old Town's biggest. So I think he's looking to attract really good independent operators. I know he's been approached by some chains already, and he said no, he wants an independent operator. Well, I think for the whole site, independent operators, which is great because Old Town's all about independence. People compare Old Town to the town centre all the time and wonder why the town has got loads of empty units and Old Town, as soon as one becomes available, gets snapped up. It's because Old Town is a bustling, small economy of micro businesses that offer something different.
But does anything this big, are there any people who are concerned that they'll take away from their business?
I don't think so, because I think you can't just exist with a few businesses in a space. You have to provide diversity. You know, people don't go to exactly the same places every day. So by having somewhere like this where you can provide another restaurant, another cafe, some more shops and retail, that provides something different. Hopefully he'll be attracting in some retailers that we don't have in Old Town. So like a suit tailor and a baker and that kind of really suitable mix of businesses, I think is exactly what Old Town needs.
Swindon can be the project that cried wolf a little bit recently, can't it? So what actually are the chances of this happening, and what needs to happen for it to happen?
So the sale's been agreed. That's the really big hurdle that's been overcome. The next hurdle's planning. So obviously English Heritage need to be consulted because it's a listed building, so they'll need to be involved, and obviously the Heritage team at the council. But it's already got huge public support. He put the plans out there in December last year, and had over 150 messages on his website of people, businesses, organisations saying this is a fantastic new use of the building if we can't have a museum and art gallery here. So I think it's really exciting. So planning is the next step, but he's really ambitious. I think he wants to get this open mid next year, as long as all goes to plan, and we'll have an exciting, renovated, restored Apsley House and extension with some great new things.
Interesting one, isn't it? So how do you feel about that? I mean, yeah, it doesn't look great when you come around the corner there from the roundabout, does it? But is that one you want to see there? I'm sure we'll follow very closely the developments on that, what could be happening to the old museum and art gallery site in Old Town Swindon.